Hello, my name is Mars, and welcome back to Saltsea Chronicles. We're about to move on from Fort Alcazar and decide where to go next, and I don't really have a strong opinion about where we should go next, so we'll see what people have to say. The sound of crab claws clack in the distance. Are you ready for the crew to decide their next steps? Yes. To where? Things are getting heated as the crew try to unpick what was learned at Fort Alcazar. It was Jayantha, I'm sure of it. That's what Helly told us. He knows K's. So he lied. I knew I shouldn't have let him on board. We'd still have liked to have been part of that decision. Is he still working with K's? Are the people on Youlouca in danger? I don't know. The dream was vague. But it seems he clearly knew a great deal more than he let on to Iris. Stu nods emphatically. We should warn them. Mulpe frowns. But we're supposed to be finding K's. Did you find out about the beacon? Nothing as clear as I'd hoped. Although we did get a tiny bit sidetracked. We did. But I'm back on track now, more than I ever have been before. This is quite convincing. And we have two leads. Helly said we should speak to Kerr at the light. No! What? I mean, that's a dangerous place. I never heard that before. Mulpe frowns. And Morin, he thought we should try the Sky Eye. There's a family of story collectors there, right? Neshko nods. Worth speaking to, it sounds like. Okay. Kiddick's outburst very much intrigues me. And, now that I think about it, I was saying last time that if this is a choice between concrete physical evidence and stories, I would rather go with the physical evidence. So I'm thinking the light. Especially since we might learn more about Kiddick there.
Okay.
The light. Kerr's a mapmaker. If anyone knows, he does. A high, ringing tone erupts from Iris's radio. Mayday! Mayday! Lalu is alive! Lalu is aflame! Oh no! Requesting assistance from all sails. Mayday! A mayday means all vessels in proximity have to respond. Iris's breathing is rapid. Mulpe's face is ashy with horror.
Yes.
Set a course. Full sail. So I guess we're going back to Youlouca no matter what. All else forgotten, they jump up and set out to render assistance to the distress call. Solved! Neshko explains the reason for his secrecy. Mediator, they're on a roll. That's the achievement I got. And it had the resolution symbol on it. So I guess I've resolved a good number of issues. Neshko confesses his history to the crew, who see why he was uncomfortable about discussing it with them. Nice. Iris feels like they understand Neshko better. Nice. Not too crabby. How many crabs were there anyway? Oh, Youlouca's coming apart. Hi, Maisel. My cat's here. They're going towards the volcano. We're headed back to Youlouca. And we get the little animation now. I wonder if we're still gonna get to go to which was it, the light? I hope we do. I hope that choice wasn't for nothing. Oh, also, since we're headed back to Youlouca, this more than likely means that we're gonna get the choice to let Neshko stay here. since that issue was never resolved or scuppered. I'm still thinking I'll let him stay. If he really wants to. Youlouca, the crew are pulled suddenly off course, as they must return to a previously visited island to provide urgent assistance. Youlouca was in danger, after all. Oh, ash fills the sky. It's all ruined. The scientists are upset. Yeah. That's why you don't live in a volcano, man. Oh. Youlouca aflame. God, so at least there are some surviving people, but God. How many people must have died? All cleared up. Molpe catches Neshko's attention. Neshko thinks he knows what's coming. Molpe, I'm sorry I didn't. Molpe waves to him in silence.
Listen.
Waves him to silence. Sorry. Why did I read it like that? I've not come for apologies. I just wanted to say, I get it, okay? You? I get why you needed to work through all that alone. I am sorry, though. I'm still sorry. Neshko looks confused. Molpe pats him roughly on the back. That's what I'm saying. Not everyone's a talker. Sometimes you have to work it through yourself before you can explain to others. I get it. And we're lucky to have you. Without those leads from Alcazar, we might have been lost. Lucky? Lucky. Molpe leaves Neshko be. He tries to look grateful, but something is still troubling him. Lucky. Another issue resolved. A mystery explained. Neshko moves over to Iris. So. Iris looks up. Now you know. I'm sorry I didn't say, on Youlouca, I mean. But you know now why Amrita recognized me. Everything. Iris glances at Neshko, understanding something new. You weren't, ready, right? Neshko nods. Not all secrets are terrible or whatever. Sometimes we just need to hold on to them for a bit. Work out how we feel first. Iris grins, the comparison obvious. Well, I like your secret a lot more than I like mine. Is that their crush on Kiddick? What that's referring to? Iris laughs. Me too. No offense. Neshko smiles warmly. None taken. I like their dynamic a lot. They're the only pair I've paired up twice. It seems an odd couple, but their little friendship is cute. Alright, tension. Too much on your plate. In the galley, the atmosphere is tense. Iris and Stu have suddenly simmered over at one another again. I was going to clean it. Like yesterday and the day before. There was other stuff to do. Like what? Cuddling with your little friend? I think Stu is being very unreasonable. I think Iris is in the right here. There's a whole exploded island out there. Dishes are not important. Not until you get food poisoning. Just thinking of yourself, your own little world. That's how a child acts. I'm tired, exhausted. And you made me think that my mind was cracking. Stu's hands are shaking. Everyone else forgave me.
No.
This crew does not revolve around you. You are part of us and we are a part of you. We have a responsibility to each other. Stu cannot excise the poison from her tone. You have to choose to grow up before the world makes you. Iris turns away. The words sting. Will the rift between Iris and Stu ever be healed? I wonder. Alright. Community spirit. The smell of sulfur seems to be making Ade restless. Shh, little one. Merle looks up from his notes. I don't blame them. It really is a suffocating scent. No worse than Ade produces several times a day. Merle offers a tight smile. Have you ever seen anything like it? Mulpe shakes her head. Were you thinking of going? Merle taps his chest, shaking his head. Oh, sorry, of course. That Jayantha, I swear everything is telling me he's connected to this. I'm sure we'll get answers. Although helping the Youloucans should be our first order of business. Mulpe is surprised at this. You've changed. Yeah. He used to put his studies first. And now he cares more about other communities. I don't know if he would recognize that, though. I have. Not too long ago, it would be all about the facts. Now it's people first. Merle thinks. For a long time, I have practiced my vocation alone. I would travel, I would visit communities, but I would do so alone. Mulpe smiles. We're making you soft, is that it? Merle sniffs. It is useful to be reminded that theory is nothing without practice. Theory is a thing, and practice is a doing. Needed some tea, sorry. I have been a person in theory for far too long. A person in theory. Merle looks at Mulpe. Something happened to me before I met you all that made me retreat. It was necessary, but now it is necessary for me to be otherwise. Mulpe looks at Merle, then nods. Makes sense. How are your lungs, by the way? Merle is about to answer, but is interrupted by his own coughs. Excuse me. Stu has given me some decongestant concoction. A few drops on a scrap of fabric. If I breathe through it, it eases me. Still, let's keep you below decks if we can. Thank you for the thought. I wonder if there's any way we can learn more about Merle. Crossed wires. The radio fizzles, its fractured voices indistinct as smoke. Iris! The radio! Iris does not respond. They're arguing with Stu. Again. Kiddick attempts to turn the dials as they've seen Iris do before. Stolen. Yes, I can do this. They turn one dial a bit further and it comes off entirely in their hand. No, I can't do this. Frantically, they screw it back on. Oh, stuff to look at. Merle mutters as he pores through his records, looking for information on post-volcanic situations past. Attention, seeking ship to Kelpie. Report to Aaron. Jeez. Still on about Aaron. Iris is working on the radio, but only really to calm themselves. Danger like this is horribly unfamiliar. Insufficient stores. Sandy is looking through the workshop for anything that might be useful to aid the Youloucans. Nothing. I guess most boats don't have the kind of stores Seesaw does. Sandy looks around. I wish you could see me. You used to say I'd never leave. Maybe that's why you didn't tell me you were going. DeKelpie gives a creak. It feels like an answer. Funny old boat. So small. I can see why Mulpe loves it, though. DeKelpie creaks again. Perhaps it doesn't like being called small. She glances out the porthole. Moons, those folks could use an extra hand. Aw, I like Sandy. Alright, back to Youlouca. Volcanic island ahead smokes menacingly. Are you ready to disembark? Yes. Alright. Are we deciding who? Smoke after fire. Neshko straightens up, drawing the room's attention. Everyone okay? They all nod. Youlouca is in trouble. They need our help. I'm going ashore to lend strength where I can. Take me! I'm strong. I can help. Whoever goes needs to find that knackle of a man, Jayantha. He was digging up the volcano. I bet he's behind all this. Merle leans over to Molpe. If you wish to go ashore, I can take Ade. Little lungs may not appreciate these conditions. They're the only ones smiling. The best baby. Molpe nods, giving Merle an appreciative nod. Neshko continues. We should certainly warn the community about Jayantha, but it's for them to decide what to do about him. Him and Kay's. Find one, find the other. Right. Whenever we find a problem, it's Kay is at the root of it. Seems that way. Kiddick shivers. Maya, mixed up in all of this. I want to go. Hold Jayantha to account. Perhaps you should rest? I don't want to rest. Supplies or transport? We don't have a lot of room on the boat, but we don't have a lot of supplies to spare either. I don't know. I feel like... I would rather get people out of there than just leave our meager supplies with them. Maybe people will need to leave? We could help with transport? A cloud crosses Stu's face. We've hardly enough space as it is. I can carry stretchers. The more we share, the more we have. That's what I was taught. God, I thought I needed to sneeze. It might not come to that if we can help them rebuild. I'll help if you need, Neshko. Why would you rebuild on a volcano? It's their home. Neshko shakes his head. I'm going. I'll find Ka. He made us welcome last time we were here. He'll know where we're needed. Jayantha has to be found too, Neshko. Neshko shrugs. If the Youloukans wish it.
Okay.
Let's go. Alright, we get 3 choices. Youlouca strikes an impressive shape on the horizon, but this time the vegetation and freshwater lake are obscured by a huge plume of ashy smoke. Youlouca's healing conditions have always been the product of a volatile environment. Most of the incomers have fled, leaving the remaining population to piece their community back together. The older population speaks Esterly, but almost everyone uses Pata. Neshko seems to have turned some kind of personal corner. He's eager to help the Youloukans. I'm good with my hands. We don't have much, but maybe we can support some rebuilding efforts. He speaks Pata. Molpe is not going to let Jayantha get away with his lies. We are going to get some answers. This is the kind of work Sani is made for. She's a mix of generosity, kindness, and muscle mass. Take me. I'm strong. I can help. Kiddick isn't sure what they can offer in a disaster scenario, but thinks it's important to try and help, no matter what. Alright, and they speak Pata. I'm not sure who I want to take. I want Molpe to be able to confront Jayantha, but at the same time, I'm not even sure if Jayantha is going to be there. He probably would have fled by now, wouldn't he have? So, I don't think it'll be as cathartic for her as she thinks it will be. I'm kind of leaning towards Sani because, yeah, at this point they need the manpower. 2 strong people like Neshko and Sani going to help seems like it would be vital. I really want to take Molpe, but I don't think it'll be good for her. So I'm going to take Sani. Like, I haven't taken Kiddick anywhere yet, and I feel bad about that, but I think Sani is more suited for this. There's Ka. As if a volcanic eruption were not enough chaos, there is a sharp scent of a storm brewing in the air. The charcoal dark stumps reach up towards the smoke-filled sky. Youlouca is strangely quiet, as if the few birds that remained have forgotten how to sing. What happened? A broken display catches Sani's attention. What a shame! Neshko takes a closer look. Visitor information display. I wonder if any of those visitors have stayed to help. Sani shifts her weight from foot to foot. At least they have us. Neshko shrugs. So, do you think we can fix it? It doesn't look beyond repair. And it would be a good start. Sani nods enthusiastically. They spend a little time sifting pieces from the rubble so that, when it's time, the display will be more easily fixed. Nice. It's my party. It's my party and I'll cry if I want to. Neshko picks up the charred Midnight Moon's leaflet. He regards it silently for a few moments. What's up? He searches for the words. We plan and celebrate, never knowing what the future holds. I want to be hopeful, do not expect disaster. I get you, I really do. But I reckon that fearing the worst is kind of natural. And what's really brave is holding on to hope. Is that how you're dealing with? A sad smile runs across Sani's face. As long as we're moving forward, I'm okay. My sister's out there. That's enough for now. Alright, let's check inside the dwelling. I'm surprised we can still go in anywhere. Model behavior. A Youloucan sits, working at an intricate clay model of the island. Each detail of the destruction has been depicted, a work of horrifying care. At the center of the model lies a lump of clay lacking the detail of the rest. So much lost. The Youloucan jumps, only just noticing their company. Yes, everything changing, being made new. It's almost beautiful. He swallows. It's necessary. Our living home, living even as it dies. Depicting death. I know something of that. The volcano is in flux, like breath. Neshko nods. It makes a kind of sense. It's a living piece of art, even when it's depicting something terrible. The Youloucan nods. Ah. Oh, I get it. A pause. The gloopy bit in the middle is strange, though. I don't understand it. Something is guiding my hand. It will come. Our land transformed. I've done a lot of building, but I've never had to model destruction. I'm sure you're doing your best. It pains me, but it is part of us. The Youloucan turns back to their project. It should be recorded. Alright. There's Bob. They're okay. Was that their name? Bob? Or am I making that up? Bobby, yes. What happened? Neshko and Sani quietly approach the Youloucan guide, tending to an injured figure. Forgive us. Are we welcome? The guide offers a soft smile and a nod. Thank you. How did this happen? Can we help? The guide bows their head. As you may know, there was a celebration here on the island. At the end, as the harsh light of dawn began to break, Laloo erupted. There was a rush to leave. Bobby, trying to protect the Heritage Center, was caught in that rush. Are they badly hurt? Neshko shifts as they move towards Bobby, as if to move towards Bobby, to embrace them or to cover their hand in his. The guide signals for Neshko to stop. They are resting. For now, it is best not to disturb them. Sleep hails. Sandy moves closer to Neshko and places a hand on his shoulder. Is there anything we can do? No. Your visit is more than enough. Thank you. Neshko hesitates. Have you seen Jayantha by any chance? The guide blinks, unsure about where that came from. No, I mean we. Neshko collects himself. I can see that was not appropriate. I'm sorry. We're so sorry. I am sorry too. I would like to get back to caring for Bobby now. I wish you well. A heavy stillness fills the room. Each sound and movement feels like an intrusion. Man of the People. Neshko gestures towards a framed copy of People von Dre's almanac. I am starting to think there is no public space in the Saltsea archipelago without a copy of this book. We even had one on Seesaw. Some mark to leave on the world, huh? What do you mean by that? A book like that helps us understand how we function in and relate to our world. The legacy. I have to admit, I'm a little jealous. You left that beautiful mural on Fort Alcazar. That's a mark. That's a legacy. Sandy tips her head to one side. I get you, it's impressive. But it's not like something you or I could do. I'm made for lifting things. You're made for building them. Just because that's one person's thing doesn't mean your thing isn't important. Neshko places his hand on the book. That's a useful thought. Thank you, Sandy. Oh. Sandy has already been distracted by something that might need her very capable helping hands. Alright, let's leave. And there's Cobb. Let's look over here first. We can't even go up. That's how destroyed it is. Oh. Dead vent feeder. Oh. Funeral for a friend. Neshko crouches by the dead vent feeder and gently lays a hand over its eyes. Gala was right. The vent feeders have suffered. Life is so fragile. The only real certainty, Neshko's voice catches in his throat, is that it will end. Sandy takes Neshko's hand. Come on. I had a bird called Dora, you know? And I bet she's doing great. I can't wait to meet her after all this. Neshko smiles. We should cover them, this vent feeder. We could give them a name? Neshko pauses in thought. Zirka. We give an ocean of thanks for your life, Zirka. Calm seas in the next. Sandy pats Neshko's arm. Goodbye, Zirka. Neshko realizes he misses having a home island. Okay. Okay. That's not it. He resolves to return to Youlouca and try there someday. Okay. So we're not leaving him here now. The dark water is choked with ash. Dark, twisted shapes float on the oily surface. The spa, like the incomers who enjoyed it most, is nowhere to be seen. Only the smell of sulfur remains. Smoke pours from the crater in Youlouca's summit, filling the sky. Its reek is on everything. The path up to the summit of Lalou is completely impassable, enjoyed now only by vent feeders. Alright, let's check on the scientists. The scientists' precious equipment lies shattered on the floor, as if cast down by an angry hand. Alice explains. Alice stares at Neshko and Sandy as they approach. They meet Neshko's eye. You're back? Who's this now, with you? They point at Sanny. Where's Iris? Why, did you know them? Alice clears their throat. No. It doesn't matter now anyway. Sandy and Neshko share a look. Let's go. Neshko nods and they move on. Seismic observation. A crack runs through the belly of the seismometer, and several balls have escaped onto the floor. Is that good? Perhaps the eruption broke it? Or perhaps it's detecting latent activity. I guess any warning is better than none. Gosh, I'd hate to have been the person responsible for it, though. All this fancy tech, and after all that? Neshko pokes the seismometer. It's ancient technology, you know, very well established. Although dream sailing can be just as effective. I guess. I can't do either, tech or dreams. Neshka smiles. Nor can I, but we can always find ways to be useful. Sanny nods, firmly. Building, fixing, lifting, towing. They leave the seismometer to struggle on. Okay. I guess that's it for the scientists. So let's go back to Ka. Tending to ruins. Ka is picking over the wreckage of the Heritage Center. He takes a leaflet from the display and examines it, his face impassive. I'm so sorry. Ka turns to Neshko. I wasn't expecting to see you again. What do you want from us now? We heard the call. What can we do? Anything we can. Ka lets the leaflet fall to the ground. To help, is it? And what happens when you help? I'm strong. I can carry. And I know how to build, whatever is needed. Ka shrugs, still looking away. We've rebuilt before, we will rebuild again. But I have never before seen Leloup this angry. Oh, you mean like this isn't normal? You think something untoward happened? Ka turns and fixes them with a fiery stare. He gestures up the mountain. Ask them. Ask those incomers you were so friendly with. They had no idea what they were doing. And we're paying the cost. It's hard to always know what impact you have. I'm sorry if any of our crew overstepped. My child, Bobby, was hurt, did you know? Terribly badly. We don't know if they'll recover. He fixes them with a cold stare, then sighs, as if letting something go. Perhaps you are supposed to help us rebuild. Perhaps you are supposed to help us understand. Maybe that will make things clearer for you as well. Just tell us where to start. Ka shakes his head. We've lost so much, we don't even have the tools to rebuild. Those scientists may have something that can help. It's time they made themselves useful. And talk to whoever's left. If any of them have started to grasp the truth of what they've done, well, that is where healing might begin. Neshko nods. We'll do what we can. We'll find out the truth. Ka's expression is unreadable. Will you? Alright, so over here. Yeah, I figured. Is this Amrita? We can talk to her. What we've gathered. Amrita is by the excavation, looking forlornly into the depths. Amrita. She turns, not recognizing him for a moment. You're back? Amrita scratches at her arm. I wasn't even sure I'd survive. We heard the call, came right away. We came to help. Thank you. It's good to see a friendly face. There's not many left. I know what that feels like. Amrita gives a wry smile. You do. But this? She gestures at the destruction around her. I've never known anything like this. Gallo, all of them, They just left. Neshko breathes sharply. I am glad he is, at least, safe. I was worried. Amrita sees his expression and laughs a hollow laugh. I should have tried harder. Warned more people. I saw it coming, but I didn't want to believe it. No one did. You did what you could. It wasn't enough. You can't blame yourself. Sani looks around, afraid. Have you seen Jayantha? We need to find him. Amrita nods ruefully. He was here not long ago. I saw him at the dig, but he ran off. I don't think he wanted to be seen. He wasn't who he said he was he? What was he doing? Amrita? She stares blankly. What do you need? Amrita takes deep breaths as tears lay tracks down her ashy cheeks. What have we done? Neshko is lost for words. We'll give you some space, okay? Okay? There is no response. Oh. And to the scientists? Tool for the job. An assortment of tools are piled up in the corner of the quarters, gathering dust. Look here, we could use these. We should really ask for... Everyone is busy. They'll stop us if they want. Let's just do what we can. Ask them. Did you see them out there helping? Nope. They're in here, doing whatever it is they're doing. Neshko shifts uncomfortably. Sani taps her foot impatiently. Maybe we've missed something. Neshko sighs. But I'm sure they won't mind. Let's take them. Oh. Okay. Tooled up. Before Neshko and Sani can leave, not Kiddick, Henry, who has barely noticed the visitor, stumbles into them, face shining with sweat. Her eyes are red from tears or ash, perhaps both. What are you doing? We're just going to use these to help Ka. Henry's eyes fill with angry tears. I have to stop this from happening again. I'm sure you did what you could. Sometimes things are just out of our control. There was some factor I didn't account for, some missing variable. I must find it. Sani and Neshko exchange glances. Not to be, insensitive, but don't you think the dig is part of the problem? Henry shudders. It was a cascade effect. A sudden shock, or a slow accumulation of reactions? I don't know. But I will find out. It's like having a conversation with a stone wall. She won't know where Jayantha is. Where are the rest of you? Henry shakes her head. Gone. Far away. Fewer distractions, I say. Neshko frowns. We're going to help rebuild at the Heritage Center. Why don't you come? It might help. No. I have my work. She blinks rapidly, then gestures to the tools in their arms. But take them. Tell Ka. I'm sorry, and I'll find my own way to help. Henry turns to her readings, biting her lip. Neshko and Sani watch for a moment, then move on. Okay? Let's move the day forward, and then I'll probably end it. What's needed? Sani drops the tools on the ground triumphantly.
Okay.
Right, let's do this. Khan nods thoughtfully. This isn't a short task. We can help you start, at least. Neshko sizes up where he can be most effective. Ka, I can't stop thinking about what you said before. You really think all they're digging? She gestures around her. It did all this? A long look. Volcanoes erupt. We know where we live. The rhythms of Lalu are creation and destruction, both part of Youlouca's beauty. It is beautiful. No wonder everyone wanted to come. But you cannot come and just take. That is not how we live here. Did their digging set Lalu aflame? I don't know. But I know they didn't care whether it did or not. Sandy understands, or does she? I feel like she doesn't. Everyone's so angry. Anger is healthy. Unless it festers. Better to share it honestly, or... He gestures around him. Neshko sighs, tools in hand. Let's get to work then. Sandy feels like she's helped. Yay! Afternoon sun glimmers through the volcanic plume. Alright. I want to see what new we got here. I didn't even realize that, that the Sandy quest, the Sandy issue was still active. But she feels like she made a difference. I'm glad I brought her along then. Delve deeper. Ka looks around, smiling in sad satisfaction. Well, it's a start. Sandy jumps up, ready and raring to be reassigned. What now? Oh, sorry. I'm not sure we need more from you here. He looks over to Amrita. She knows more than she's told you. It weighs on her. Sandy and Neshko exchange glances.
Let's go.
You think she's got answers? About the eruption, Jayantha? Answers, or more questions. But sometimes people will share with strangers what is too difficult to say to those they know. Perhaps you can help each other. Ka crumples. He's also been carrying far too much. I must go to Bobby. I hope you find what you're searching for, but my child needs me, and I need them. They watch Ka as he leaves, bent beneath the grief. Alright. I have time to talk to Amrita, I think. Can we check around? The room smells faintly of ash mixed with sunroot and regret. Aw. Henry's out here doing what she can. The Heritage Center has been rebuilt into an echo of what it was before the eruption. Really, only Bobby could piece this place back together. Many feet have tracked mud and ash onto the once pristine floor of the dwelling. The mood in the dwelling has shifted. There's a brightness in the air, something like hope. A sign of things to come. The model maker is observing their creation intently. I see you've made progress. Looking good. No, far from it. It looks like a volcano to me. From some angles, when I squint. I knew what I needed to make. I had it at the forefront of my mind, yet I'm not frustrated with myself, just confused. I see what you mean. Sometimes you really can't know where you'll end up until you've started. And sometimes it feels like your hands are being guided by something which isn't you. Maybe the meaning will reveal. Ka appears by their side. That looks like a place I have dreamed. A beacon. I believe I also heard Jayantha speak of it once. Neshko and Sandy look at each other. The others notice. Does that mean something to you? Well, yes. Does this have anything to do with your search? Yes. Huh. They gesture to their model. Whatever guided my hand might be guiding you too. Oh. Interesting. That wasn't a required node, though, so I don't know how much that will actually help. Bobby's dream. Ka is by Bobby's side, a sad but content expression on his face. He smiles at Neshko and Sandy's approach, though there is little mirth in it. Just the people. How are they? Better. They woke earlier and we spoke for a few moments. Oh, that's good to hear. I can't even begin to imagine. When they stirred and spoke those few words. Oh, the relief. I thought I might faint. I didn't realize how much tension I'd been holding. It all rushed out and the room span. Span? Spun? Maybe that's a Britishism, I don't know. A lot of those in this book. This game. What am I talking about? I know there's a lot of words in it, but it's still a game. Okay, warmth. Sandy reaches for Ka's hand. Is there anything else we can... No. You've done much. I am grateful. Thank you. Ka attempts to smile again, but it comes out as a grimace. Alright, Amrita, what are you hiding? Not my business. Amrita is looking up at the walls of the Heritage Center, already much sturdier. Thank you for returning to help us. I'm sorry I wasn't able to offer you more before. Neshko smiles. Something about you is different. I hope so. Sandy laughs. What was he like before? Amrita doesn't know what to say. Different. Will you go back? To Alcazar, I mean. I don't know. I thought I'd made a home here. Will you? I was there recently. Amrita can barely contain her surprise. And? I think it could be my home again. One day. Sandy clears her throat. Cool. It's nice you two get to hang out. But we have a problem. A Jayantha problem. She turns to Amrita firmly. Heard Alice was shouting at you earlier. What was that about? Were they? Okay. Amrita shakes her head, looking away. It's nothing. Please, Amrita. We won't judge you. Amrita winces. She was just telling me to leave their excavation alone. Well, not telling, shouting. But the worst part? There was such fear in her eyes. Afraid I would find... Find what? I don't know, but it matters. To her and Jayantha. Is Alice the person we mean to be talking about? Because they didn't seem to care that much. They're just thirsty for Iris. That seems to be their whole character. He's dug up nothing but trouble. She might be talking about Henry. Neshko kicks at a loose stone. You don't have to take on the world's troubles, you know. Not alone, but troubles shared are worth bearing. He looks at Sandy. Let's go find him. Sandy nods. Thank you, Amrita. Sandy turns to leave, then looks back. I hope you find your home. Oh. There he is. I could end the episode here, but Jayantha's right here. I thought he was gone. Finally, the truth. There at last, by the ruined dig, is Jayantha. He's in heated argument with Alice, who holds tightly to a strange, twisted object. We trusted you. Just hand the prototype to me, Alice. I'll never let you have it.
Hey!
You two, what's going on? Jayantha turns and smiles at Sandy. Ah, the wandering ship has returned. Delightful. And now, please help me apprehend this villain. He is the villain. This is all his fault. Jayantha smirks. Wild accusations. Nonsense, of course. I can explain everything. Stop it. Stop it. It's all lies, isn't it? I simply must. Enough. Sandy's biceps ripple as she clenches her fists. Jayantha frowns, calculating that he may be at a disadvantage. Alice, is it? Please explain. Alice clutches the metal device to their chest. Case is trying to save us all. The prototype, the cedar, we need... They look out across the swath of destruction. But all this rusted barrel of bilgewater wants is destruction. Kay's told us where to dig, kept us digging. We thought that we were helping, but look what happened. A confession. You're in league with Kay's. Now give me that device and perhaps we'll be forgiving. What's the truth of it? He turns to Sandy in bewilderment. How can we know?
Let's go.
We'll find out. Alice, whatever cedar is, you've got to give it to me.
No.
Jayantha's face twists into a snarl. Rust. Salt's worth a lot of you. An old-fashioned insult more common in the times before advanced desalination techniques were developed. He barrels into Alice, who lets go of the device in shock. Before anyone can react, he's disappeared up the mountain. He went that-a-way. That's the achievement I got. Neshko stares after him. No, the wave of waves. The fault, it's going to destroy us all. They sink to their knees. Sandy goes to their side. Talk to me. Tell me what you were trying to do, you and Kays. Alice doesn't respond. He really can run fast.
Ugh.
Sandy lets out a roar of frustration. Kays. Everywhere Kays has been, disaster follows. Neshko nods solemnly. Only someone in terrible pain would act like this, with no thought for the consequences of what they do. Ha! Pain? I don't want to hear it. Neshko frowns. Sandy rubs her eyes. Oh, I don't know. What do we do now? We should talk to Ka. He'll want to know what we've heard. Alice is still sobbing beside the edge of the dig. It's coming. It's coming. They are beyond comfort, incoherent. I don't think we should push Alice any further. Let's go to Ka straight away. We can't chase after Jayantha? Layers of regret. Henry watches Alice from the doorway of the laboratory, her face smeared with dirt and ashes. I thought I knew what we were doing. I thought we were helping, building understanding. She looks down. Was everything we were working for a lie? You couldn't have known. And none of us can take responsibility for the actions of others. But right now, people here need help, right? There'll be something you can do. Henry gives a hollow laugh. Behind her, darkness shrouds the ruined laboratory. Perhaps you're right, but everything I've touched. She gestures at the shattered glass and fallen masonry. When I feel like that, there's only one thing that helps. Doing what needs doing, step by step, brick by brick. Eventually, it gets easier. You're right, thank you. She looks across the distance towards the distraught Alice, helplessly. There's work to be done. Can we go inside? I don't know what there would be to look at inside. Nothing. That's what I thought. Alice stares at the smoking ruins of the excavation as if all words have abandoned them. Alright. I mean, it's getting juicy, so I don't want to stop. Jayantha's fate. Ka is humming a calming, familiar Saltsea tune. Ka, is this a good time? I don't know, but speak anyway. We found Jayantha, but he escaped us after we confronted him. Ka waits for them to continue. He lied to our crew. When we visited before, why would he do that? Hush. What did you find? He told us he was as concerned about Kays as we were. But now we believe that not only was he Kays' right hand, but he. They were never kidnapped. Mandy, Maya. A tense silence follows. Recruited is the word he used. Did he? When did he say recruited? I feel like we're getting our conversations mixed up. Unfortunately, There's a lot for this game to keep track of, and it doesn't always do it perfectly. I just can't believe Mandy would help someone like... Sandy's voice catches in her throat. Ka, we believe Jayantha played a part in the eruption. We are sorry to not have worked it out sooner. To warn, no need for that. What if is much less useful than what now. These are the cards we've been dealt, the truths we've uncovered. What's next? We will pursue Jayantha. He can't have gone. Cobb raises his hands. This is bigger than Jayantha. I appreciate the gesture. But this, justice for Jayantha, is our responsibility. I suggest you continue on your journey. We can't just leave. You can help us by pursuing your own mission. You have friends wrapped up in all this, I believe? My sister. Other harms will follow this one. That, my dear Neshko and Sani, looks to be more urgent for you. More so to see that a misguided, power-hungry person faces the consequences of his actions. What will you do? Same that we do with all those who act in ways that cause harm. Talk, listen, and hope they will hear. Neshko glances over at Sani, eyes glassy. I think your time here has come to an end, for now. I hope you find your missing friends. They look at one another, at a loss. Sail to where information gathers. We did hear that the knowledge of the Sky Eye may be useful. And someone called Kerr at the light. Well then, I wish you fair weather and calm seas. I must tend to my child and my home. Ka turns away and begins singing gently to Bobby. Alright. Sounds like we're gonna head back to the boat, but I'm gonna do that next time, because I'm sure that once I click on this boat icon, it'll start a cutscene of some kind, and I won't be able to stop and save. So I'm gonna do that now. I knew that Jayantha was no good. I knew it. I have no idea what he would have done to us if we had actually let him on board, but I'm so glad we didn't. And I don't know. I hope Stu can get it into your thick skull that Iris made the right call there, because that whole conflict is driving me up a wall. It's so unreasonable, the whole thing. So, yeah, but my mind is still made up. We're gonna go see Kerr at the light, but we will do that next time. Until then, I have been Mars, and I will be back with more Saltsea Chronicles.